Start.
Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to the 30th session of 10 days virtual workshop on research methodology in social science, sponsored by ICSSR. Research is seeing what everybody else has seen and thinking what nobody else has thought. Before we proceed towards the session, let's know about our today's resource person. Today, we are privileged to have Dr. Sarika Sawant ma'am, Assistant Professor at SHPT School of Library Science, SNDT Women's University, Mumbai. Currently, she is guiding 5 doctoral students. Madam has also received $1,000 from US federal grants for the department to conduct the series of webinars on media and information literacy. She was also invited as a panelist on behalf of South Asia, which was organized by REPS, US Embassy. To name a few academic achievements, Madam has published 42 international and national journals. To her credit, she has 2 books, one collaborative book project for BRICS, and also edited various conference proceedings. She has also deposited 44 preprints of conference journal paper in eList repository. Currently, ma'am is associated with 16 universities of India. With such a rich experience, I'm sure participants will gain a lot from today's session. Now, I request Dr. Sarika Sawant ma'am to take over the session. Thank you.
Please unmute, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much for this warm welcome. And I'm very happy to share my experiences of my publishing journey with all the participants of today's ICSR sponsored workshop. I thank to the principal madam, I thank Liji madam, I thank Smita madam for giving me the opportunity to share my experience via this webinar. So let's begin with my PPT presentation. I hope it is visible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Oh, okay. So today I'm going to talk about publishing in journals. The topic that has been assigned to me is what is the publication process, indexing databases, what exactly is open access and predatory publishing. Okay, so my talk is spread over these many subtopics. Okay, so what is the motive behind publications, qualities of a good manuscript, process of publishing an article, choosing the right journal, rejections. This is something very serious that we have to think about it. Then I will be giving you some tips for getting your first journal article published. And then definitely we are going to talk about impact factor and journal finding tools. Okay, these are all tips and tools that I will be sharing with all the participants. I think there are 75 participants, more than 80 participants who are attending this ICSR sponsored workshop. And I hope that if you listen it carefully and if you practice or if you implement all these tips and techniques, definitely you will be publishing your articles maybe within 6 months to 1 year. Okay, because that is the embargo period that usually journals takes that much of a time to publish the articles in their journal. Okay, so journal writing gives us insights into who we are, who we were, and who we can become. So this is something very true, and in these I think more than 50 slides will able to prove what this Sandra has written. Okay, so let me go to my first slide. This is the article that has been published 6 months back. This is published by Annals of Library and Information Studies. This is one of the international library science journal published by India. Our NISCARE, Ministry of, Information and Broadcasting, that NISCARE Institute publishes this journal. And this published in volume number 68. So you can imagine that this particular journal is running 68 years. And please pay attention at what has been written after my name is that this article article was received on 5th October 2020, which got revised on 26th July 21 and actually got published, accepted in August, right? And got published in September 2021. So it almost took 1 year to publish my article, which is a very, it is a research article which has a structured abstract keywords and the body of a article which has been written nicely, considering all those international standards in mind. Okay, so now the next is, okay, so this is the article which got published in September 2021, which has got more than 1,000 downloads. If you go to the journal's website, you'll able to observe how many times this particular article has been downloaded. The abstract has been viewed more than again 1,000 times, that 1,251, and I have received one citation for my article in this 6 months. Okay, not in 6 months, but I think 1 week back only I received one citation for this my particular article, because a lot of research is going on in libraries, in case of libraries, that what exactly services were provided by the libraries in the pandemic period. So whoever will be reading my article may likely to cite in their journal, in their own article, and when it will get published in any journal, I will receive the citations. Okay, so I'm not at all disappointed, because here you, in this second article, you can observe that this article got published almost 8 years back, and which has got a more than 10,000 downloads. Means people actually read the abstract and they download the article so that they can use it in their own study. Like for a review of literature, we know that we need a lot of articles, right? So maybe someone somewhere in the world is reading my article, downloading, and maybe wants to use in their own studies. Okay, so I have received 33 citations for my this particular article. So you can imagine this article is a very small scale article, but the way it was written, and it was the discussion part of that particular article and the conclusion made that article more richer. Okay, so this is one biggest tip I am sharing with you, that what is the difference between the articles which I wrote 6 months back and the articles which I wrote 10 years back. There is a drastic change in the writing style of mine, the way I used to write and now I used to write, now I write. Okay, so this particular part makes your article richer, and the acceptance of your articles will get increased. Okay, so it is all about your brain, how you process it, how you put it in a words, and how you relate your study with the other studies. Okay, how you compare and contrast your study with the other studies. So that is what makes your article more important and more likely to get accepted and more likely to get used by many researchers all over the world, so that you can receive the citations for this particular article. Okay, so here is this particular, this is what I wanted to share with you. So that is why I just gave you a picture of my article. And this is not just a promotion of my article. I'm not trying to do that, but still it is, I'm giving you a glance at a article, how and what difference how you can make with the articles. Okay, now next is, what is the motive behind the publications? Okay, why do you write the articles? So definitely for sharing research results, application. See, whatever minor research projects I did, like maybe 3, whatever MLIC dissertations, that final year post-graduation dissertation that has been done with my students, that I felt that it should not lie in just cupboard, or it should not lie in the form of hard copy in the library, but it should be shared with all the researchers worldwide, right? And that is why you have to take some efforts to put it in words, write words in a structured manner, and share it in a journals, right? So that you are reaching to each and every researcher who is working on that particular concept. Okay, so sharing research results and application is a very broad spectrum of writing and publishing. Okay, I think I feel that that should be the more that should be given a more priority, okay, for publishing. Then recognition, definitely everyone received the recognition. As I said, I showed you that I received 1 citation for 1 article which got recently published, and I got 33 citations for the article which I published 8 years back, right? So the recognition is really important. So your affiliation, your designation, that is something different, but still, as a writer, as a established writer or a researcher in your own field, only with the help of your publications you can receive a good amount of recognition in your own field. As why I have written your PhD, because as all of us know very well that UGC have made us mandatory for means at least 1 publication we should publish in UGC care listed journal, right? So this is also one of the motive behind the publications, right? Maybe many of you must be the PhD students working in different disciplines and in various universities. So you may be wanting to publish your article, not wanting, it is mandatory for you to publish your article in the journal. So that is also, in the beginning, I can say that that is a motive we can have. Okay, and yes, we cannot say no to API, right? Academic performance indicator, where we have to show our performance in form of journal publications. So I can say that journal publications is something apex of your study, whatever teaching, whatever research you do, but that has to be shared with like-minded people, so that they get some inspiration, they get some motives to do their own research, right? I will just share here my examples that see, even in your day-to-day routine, you can have something which is which you can put it in words, or you can write in a form of article and you can publish. Okay, it is not necessary that only it has to be PhD research or something like major or minor research which you are converting into journal papers. I will just give you one example here, just for one of the practical that I do for my MLIC degree course where I teach. That practical is something very innovative, or I can say very interesting. Like, students go out of the library or out of the institution, they visit various libraries and they do the SWOT analysis of the libraries, and they come out with a very nice SWOT analysis of their respective libraries, and from the mentors they try to collect the data and all. So in this way they do the practical very nicely and they enjoy themselves. So see, this particular experience I wrote in 2000 words. Okay, so that piece of paper is very, very important. It is not only important for me, for my teaching or library science teacher, but also important for the librarians. So I can publish that article in form of journal also, or I can publish that article in a conference, as well as I can publish that as an article in the edited book also. So what my point is here is not just for a promotion, not just for PhD, not for recognition, but to share your research ideas, what exactly you do, what are your success stories, what are your failures, that you should share with the researchers, so that they will get benefit of what are your insights about. Okay, so these are the basic motives, and definitely avoid duplication is also a very important aspect, as now not only the Google is going to retrieve us all the research that is going on, but there are so many repositories, archives, research data management processes are there, which help us to discover what research has been done on this particular topic. So if the same research has been done, then our DRC or RAC or RRC is going to reject our topic, right? So we have to choose the topic accordingly. So definitely publishing articles in the journals help us to avoid the duplication of research work. So I am very sure that all of you are agree with this. Now just think about who are the people behind this particular publishing journey. Okay. As you know very well, what is the publication cycle? That we do some write, we do some research, okay, then we write it in a form of paper. Someone evaluates our paper, right? So when we submit our article to journal, there is a peer review system who reviews our article, and then it is accepted or rejected. And this is a very interesting journey. Like, I was on the other side of the table, like I was the one who used to send the articles, but now I am on the side of the table also. Like, I am on an editorial board member, or I am a peer reviewer also for one journal, that is international journals only, all three journals. So I know the process, how exactly it works. Like, when article is submitted, how the article is being cross-checked for your plagiarism. Like, the article is run through iAuthenticate software. This is one software which has got billions of pages submitted by worldwide publishers, so that if there are any incidences of unauthenticate data, then it will show you as that this particular, like, copy pasted or something like that. Okay, so plagiarized data will be shown to editor, saying that this much part of the article is unattributed. It is called as unattributed. Okay, so something like this happens. So when this is passed through, then peer review is done. If you agree with you peer reviewer, then you will go ahead with the peer review, and then you may finish this process. So you need a lot of patience. You should be a good listener also. Okay, like, you can't argue with the peer reviewer. I can't say argue, but I will definitely say that you have to agree. Sometimes if you're not agreeing with peer reviewer, what suggestion that peer reviewer has given, then you have to politely say, or you have to put it in such a nice word that how the point raised by the peer reviewer is correct or not, or something like how you're not you're not agreeing with what he is saying to do with that article. Okay, because it is your article and you feel that nobody should give some inputs and tell you to make the drastic changes with your article, but this happens. Okay, you have to accept, because these are the people, very experienced people, so they will give you a lot of insights. They will give you a lot of inputs. Like, I will share in the end of this presentation that how many points was raised by the peer reviewer to do the required changes in my article, and it took almost 6 to 8 months to make the changes, to get it accepted, and it was finally accepted. So my paper was in initial stage of major revisions and then acceptance. Okay, this was the first mandatory condition was put before my article. Okay, and which was converted into accepted paper. Okay, so this is something very essential part of this publication cycle. So when article get published, then it is deposited in that journal system only. But now there are so many ways we can deposit our articles in the archives or in your institutional repository and all. Okay, so it's a cycle. It goes on and goes on. Someone else will pick up your ideas, will develop one research proposal, and will carry on research, and then again the research output of that particular research will be shared with the help of journal. So this cycle is called a spiral of research. Okay, Dr. S.R. Ranganathan has mentioned this as a spiral of research. So this process goes on. Okay, and in this particular process, who are those people who are involved in this particular process? First, we as an author, we as a researchers, we as a teachers, maybe the layman also allowed to write for the journals and the magazines also. So we are the only people who will be writing articles for the journals, right? So mostly the teaching and research community will be involved in writing the articles. And who will be the reviewers? Reviewers will be like people like us only, okay? One of us, one of the teachers, one of the researchers from various institutions will be appointed as a reviewers, okay? So the editor, who may be full-time editor of the particular journal, may be affiliated to some institute, but still maybe part-time or a full-time editor of that particular journal. Editor may get paid, but reviewers are unpaid, okay? So I feel that it is a contribution of a researcher or a teacher or to a scientific publishing process, okay? So like we are the one who submit articles and we are the one who reviews the articles, right? And in this way, we actually run the particular journal by submitting and by reviewing the articles, right? So we are all people who are involved in this work. Definitely there is a mechanical automated process happens that like all journals are having now automated journal systems. So we have to submit our manuscripts online, then review and everything, like the workflow, it's automatically done. Like editor get notified that the moment the manuscript is uploaded by one author, and then editors have a quick review, then plagiarism check is done, and then automatically reviewers are selected, because reviewers has been given some keywords or a subject areas, okay? So the moment manuscript like author writes chooses the particular research area of his or her article, it is decided to whom this particular article has to be given, okay? Automatically it is done, like it matches, the system matches with the research interest of the reviewer, and automatically that particular article goes to the reviewer's inbox, okay? So this is something very automatic procedure happens, but still there are humans involved in it. So you should have some patience with your peer review system, and you should listen to the reviewer carefully and respond to his queries in time, okay? In time, I said. So this is what particular process happens. Then you need to prepare your manuscript properly, okay? Because you have to choose your manuscript type, as well as you have to choose the area which is worth doing research and writing and the publishing, okay? I shared one article of mine which got published 6 months back in that Annals journal. See, in this 2 years, there was a pandemic situation. Everybody was sitting at home. They were doing their teaching. They were doing their research. There were few people who were doing, not few, I can say many people were attending webinars, right? But the same time, I felt that I should take the benefit of this particular situation and do something very interesting work, like doing some research and write an article on that, okay? So I was very curious to know that what kind of services are being provided by the libraries in this pandemic period. So it was very contemporary, like topic was very, very contemporary and useful, I felt. And there will be a lot of studies will be conducted in future, that what exactly happened in this pandemic period. So why not to have some research and write an article? So you should have the sense of picking up the research topic, as well as even you should pick up the journal also, okay, to whom you have to publish, means via which journal that you are going to publish your article, okay? So you have to think about not only that whether it is worth writing and publishing research area. Otherwise, if something is not important and you're just going to write the same thing again and again, definitely the journal editor will write you mail back to you saying that the same type this type of articles are been published in their journal previously. So they will politely say no. to your article. Okay, so the same repetitive or boring topic you should not take. You should take some topics which should have some professional applications, which you can say or proudly say that it is your contribution to the particular to your particular field. Okay, the article which you will be writing, which should fetch the citations, right? Otherwise, what's use? I feel that if nobody is going to use your article in their research, then what's use of your study? But again, there are so many questions that the researchers from subjects like not social sciences, but the studies where there are very limited literature is available, very limited research is available, and a lot of interconnection is not available. So such articles are not cited. Okay, they will not receive the citation, they will not be included in the Web of Science or something. Those journals will not be, even they will not have an impact factor. So you will say, then what about that? Okay, it's not exactly the matter of fetching the citation, but still I feel that if the UGC is going to tell us that you write articles and publish articles in the UGC care listed, another say for example after 5 years UGC will tell you that if you receive minimum 10 citation for your research article, then you will be considered for your higher promotions. Okay, so this may happen. Okay, so in future this may happen, so you have to be mentally prepared for that. Okay, and again, originality and the relevance, this is something very important. Why I'm saying? Because as I told you that always editors look for the original and the relevant and the contemporary research. If it is not relevant to your particular field, and if it is not going to contribute something to your research area or in your subject or in your discipline, then there are less chances of your article getting accepted. Okay, even I have struggled for some articles which are not that common area, subject areas in my library science field. Okay, so you may face such challenges. Okay, so what qualities of a good manuscript? Okay, what do you think, which whatever you write is the best? Yes, we always say na, our child is best than the neighbor's child. Like that only it is same with the paper also. Whenever we write a paper, we feel that our paper is the best paper, right? Nobody can write a paper like me. Okay, it should not happen like that. Okay, you should criticize your own paper also. Okay, that what is not been covered by your paper. Okay, you should give your article sorry, to your friends, maybe in your own subject, or maybe not your subject area, but still you can give your article to your friends to read so that they can reflect on your research. Sorry. So you should first track what is the current research going on in your field. Then you decide what topic you would like to go for it, and then you can choose a topic. Like as I said that in pandemic period, I was scanning so many articles and so many databases, online databases available. I simply wrote down 5 to 6 topics which are currently happening, which in that pandemic period. And actually I wrote 3 articles considering those situations. Okay, in library science, what is happening at that particular time, how I will document this pandemic situation, and how the pandemic situation has been documented by various university libraries in the world. Okay, like as I said that in one of my article, I actually wrote down that what exactly these international university librarians are doing to document this pandemic period. Like this is not the something which is crucial to library services, but still they wanted to archive They wanted to make an archive of this pandemic situation, and they wanted a contributions from the teachers and their users, saying that you can share your stories with us so that we will create a archive for the future or something like that. So you have to think about the situation, what research is going on in your own field, and then decide the topic, and you can start thinking about doing a research. And then after you complete your research, you can start writing the manuscript. Then you can think about to whom it is useful. Okay, so who is your audience? Do you think you are just writing it for the researchers, or you are writing for the teachers, or you are writing for the students also? Okay, so or only professionals and non-professionals, you can say. So you have to think about it, that who is your audience, who will read, who to whom it will be useful, because your language depends on it. Okay, suppose you are writing for one magazine, and which is mostly read by the students, then your language has to be very simple. But if you are writing an article for a highly competitive journal, your language will be too much technical. Okay, too much technical jargons or the language will be used, so that it may get accepted, because this is again a mandatory for the journals, that language correction as well as the way you write your article is also means play a very important part in the initial screening of your article. Okay, then you have to choose the right journal. Choosing the right journal is a crucial phase, okay, in publishing process. Because you fail to choose the right journal, you mismatch your article with the journal. Okay, like as I said, depending on the audience, depending on the language, depending on the type of your study, you have to choose the right journal. If you fail to choose a right journal, 99% rejections are there. 99% rejection. 1% kind editors will give you nice direction, saying that you can go, you can your article is good, but not right for our journal. But I will recommend you few journals. You go and check with those journals. Okay, because these editors are very good people. Okay, they are very experienced people. They know that there are novice or new authors who or budding authors, they want to write articles for their journal. So they give you advice, saying that you can submit your article for this particular journal also. Okay, or this is our sister concern, or journal or something like that. So why not to go for that particular journal? So choosing the right journal is important, and more important is the author guidelines. Why I'm saying author guidelines? Because again, more rejections are because the author guidelines are not followed. Okay, which I have read so many interviews or listened many interviews of the editors also, where they have stated that people do not follow the author guidelines or journal guidelines, I can say. Now think about what is the author guidelines and what is the journal guideline. Okay, see, you have to spend, see, you spend your half month, maybe 1 year for doing the research. You spend your 1 year to write your article, to get it accepted and published. So 2 years are going, right? Then why not you give your 1 day or a 2 day just to find out what guidelines are given by the author, what are their specification to write the article, what exactly they have mentioned about manuscripts or citation style of their journal, so that you have to go through it and you have to actually read, understand, spend a lot of time understanding what journal it is, what type of articles they have accepted, what is the style of that particular journal, that you have to sense, like your sixth sense you have to develop here, right? uh, even to choose a right journal, to choose a right technique of writing an article for that particular journal. Means after going through the articles by the journal, you will understand that how exactly the articles are written. I will give you one example. Like initially, I have written so many articles for the Emerald publisher. It is one of the good leading publishers in the field, right? So they had a structured abstract in their journal. Okay, so when you have to submit an abstract, you have to submit according to their points, like what is the purpose of your study, methodology, conclusion or findings. And there is something called novelty. Okay, when you're a budding writer, or when you're new to this particular field, you don't understand what to write in that novelty. What you will say about novelty? Like my PhD, I did it in 2010. I wrote that proposal in 2005. Okay, it was on Open Access Archive or Open Archive initiatives, which was a very new recent topic in India at that time. Okay, so I always felt that my PhD is one of the newest PhD topic in the India. Okay, but to put it in the word correctly, under that section called novelty, okay, means you have to write about your own paper in just one sentence. How novel is your idea, okay, of your particular research? So I had to read at least 20 to 30 articles from the Emerald to understand how people write about novelty for their own research, or for their own article. So somehow I came to know that yes, these are the words that I have to put it in the words, that what is the novelty about your article or a paper you have written. So let's see this is something which is really important tip, or I can say insights of what my experience is about, that I'm sharing with you. So you don't have to miss anything. Like as a amateur writer, what I will say, I will just skip this particular part. Why it was not mandatory to write novelty? Then why I should write? Nah, whatever is mandatory, I will write, but it should not. You should take it as a challenge that yes, you're not able to write it now, but maybe after some time you have to write that novelty, because after that you will be experienced writer, right? And then you have to write. Now why not to write in the beginning only? So you have to dig the information, you have to find out. So for that, you need to see the author guideline, read the articles which are given by them. Like there are sample articles given by the journals. Okay, like this question always participants ask me that, madam, we don't have that full text access to that particular journal, then how we can read the article, and how we'll understand the style of that particular article or a particular journal? And for that, the answer is that you have to read the sample articles, and otherwise you ask your librarian will supply you with articles. Okay, she will never say no to you. Just you have to take that initiative. Okay, and you have to continue with it. So your content and presentation depends very much on the author guidelines, right? So the style, the type, and the technique that people use in their writing, that you have to sense, that you have to observe, that you have to understand. That is what I always feel, that it is your implicit knowledge. That is what you gain. Nobody can give you that gyan, okay? That you have to experience on your own. Okay, and then I think you will be able to prepare your first draft, right? And first draft is never is ever ending. Okay, it will be always your first draft, even though you reach to the final edition. Okay, so you have to revise, rewrite, revise, rewrite, revise, rewrite. Okay, it's a continuous procedure. There is some nice guidelines has been given by this particular website, like your publication journey throughout, resources throughout your publication journey. Edit Age has given this, so you can go through this, and then you can understand, like this cover letter, writing a cover letter to the editor is also very important. This shows that how serious writer you are. Okay, choice of words, the language, okay, presentation, all is important. So basically what structure of the journal article will be, as I said, abstract. Abstract can be of two types. One is that structured abstract that, as I said, Emerald publisher is having, like they will ask you to write purpose, they will ask you write, they will ask you to write purpose, they will ask you to write methodology, they will ask you to write novelty, they will ask you to write findings, etc. Then the other type of abstract is like as usual, okay, that is a indicative abstract. Okay, so maybe 200 words you have to describe your article. Like in the beginning I had showed you that I had this abstract and then it was followed the article. Then you can have introduction and statement of the problem, methodology, literature review, main body of paper or argument or findings and research results. You can have a conclusion, you can have a discussion, and you can have a references. Okay, sometimes there will be no discussion. I have observed that there is mostly the conclusion. Conclusion means you just conclude what your research is. Discussion is something which is not been, which is related to your study and which connects with the other studies. Okay, so what recommendations, what lacunas you found, what can be done further, something like this, you can write it in the discussion. Okay, so this is typically a structure of the research article, I can say, which you can use. You can always keep it in mind. Okay, so what is the process of publishing an article? You have to go to the journal website submission. I think now 99% of the journals all over the world which are published, which are major journals, or I can say good quality journals, they are all available online. Okay, they have their own website, they have all automated procedures. And now what you have to do is just sign up. You have to create your login ID password, and then you have to go uploading the manuscript, right? And when you upload your manuscript, you have to fill the data. Okay, that is called as metadata. You create your own metadata. Means what? Retrieval of your article based on what you fill up while uploading your article or while submitting your article. Okay, I'm repeating again. If Google is not retrieving your article, you cannot blame Google. You have to blame yourself. Okay, because you have not inputted data correctly, and that is why your article will never get retrieved. Like when I submit any article to any journal, you have to give some keywords. You don't have to give some fancy keyword, but something very working keywords, which will retrieve your article via any search engine in the world. Okay, so writing abstract, submitting abstract, writing keywords, sometimes they have some their own classification, right? Like they will say that your article falls in one of these subjects, choose. So you have to choose those subjects, and again under that subject there will be sub points will be there. Just you have to go and click, and you have to until you reach the desired topic. Okay, so you have to click it accordingly and you have to select it, because what you are doing right now is generating a metadata for your own article, which is really important for the retrieval purpose. So you have to do it very nicely, uh, keeping your all eyes open. Okay, so submit as per their requirement, yes, which is really important. If the journal is saying that you have to write the in-text citation and the references as per APA style or Chicago style or IEEE style, you have to write it accordingly. You can't escape the this step only. Otherwise, rejection. Okay, this is the most common rejection, that particular article has not been followed the style which is required by the journal. Okay, 99% reason is this. Then you have to wait for reviews, response to the reviewers, again wait for reviewers feedback, and then final submission. Okay, so this process is really very hectic. As you can understand that 3 months mostly period is given to the reviewers. Within 3 months they have to respond to the articles. So on the last day of 3 months there will be reminder to the reviewer saying that please review this article and submit. And on that last day reviewers is like जग गया होता है कि चलो अभी करो उसका कुछ तो, right? So this happens that maybe 3 months one reviewer may give you response, or another reviewer may give within 1 week or within 1 month, or maybe again 3 months. So accordingly you will be receiving the response from the reviewers to whom you have to reply. Okay, and you have to reply in polite words. You have to choose the right words to reply to the reviewers, like saying that no, I do not agree with your review. You can't simply say like this. You cannot actually write like this. Okay, that I do not agree with your review. You have to politely say that this particular article, in this particular paragraph, this point has been raised by you. I would like to have the further explanation for this particular suggestion. Like this, you have to politely say. Okay, you can't simply say that yes, you do not agree with this. So that you have to have some kind of conversation. You can just write questions also to the reviewer saying that, is this what you want me to do? Because sometimes now there is a language gap also. See, if it is a foreign reviewer, we may not understand sometimes the what they exactly want, like the local language that they follow, and we may not be using those words and the way they talk. Okay, so you have to ask for the further explanation, so that you can do, and then hopefully your article will get accepted. Okay, so these are the basic types of the articles that are there. That is original research, then review article. Original research, as I said, that it will be a research based articles. Then review article, literature review article, systematic review. Then you can say that theoretical article, like maybe a Marxist theory or social science theory or something like that. Theoretical aspects can be written. Okay, then there can be editorials, like generally editor of the journal, they write the editorial for the every issue, just 1 page or a 2 page, giving some thoughts about what's happening new, or what this particular issue has brought to the audience. Okay, then there can be a brief communication, there can be book review, there can be opinion, there can be letters to editors also. So these are the basically types of the articles that are there. There are types of reviews also. Okay, we usually write double blind review, right? Peer review. We usually use the word called peer review. Okay, but a peer review means what exactly? Okay, there can be a single blind peer review. Okay, peer review means someone will go through the article and will give some feedback to you. You have to accept it or you have to reject it, right? If you feel you are if you feel that you are means, suppose some that reviewer finds some gap between your article and the and some review of literature, means some important research has been left out and that has not been mentioned in your review of literature, then that reviewer may point out to you that yes, this is also one important study been done in this particular area, so you may would like to include in the literature, or you may have some connections with the study what you have done. Okay, something like that. So that reviewer basically gives you the feedback. So it can be a single blind review, like you don't know who is a peer reviewer, but peer reviewer know who you are. Okay, your name will be known to the peer reviewer, but you don't know who is a peer reviewer. Double blind peer review means you don't know who is the reviewer and reviewer don't know who is the author. That is called double blind, and which is very, very common peer review system. Then there is something called as open peer review. Open peer review means uh, author as well as peer reviewer both will have a very like I can say uh, the exchange of this feedback will be openly published. Okay, whatever the exchange will takes place between the peer reviewer and the author will get published along with the article. Okay, so I think that is for the transparent peer review. Okay, where the whatever peer reviewer has given some questions or feedback is given, and how what reply is given by the author to the peer reviewer. Again, those letters are also published along with the article. Okay, so that is transparent peer review. And in case of collaborative peer review, like one or two peer reviewer will be assigned to the particular article, and then that particular author has to work under the supervision of that particular peer reviewer. That is called as collaborative review. And post publication means after article get published, the people review, means even the readers review as well as peer reviewers, they review, okay, articles, that what exactly has been what discussion is is happening regarding the this particular article. That is also something very different, I feel. But that these are the these types are not common. Okay, mostly double blind peer review is common. uh, then Okay, so there are few things that you have to keep it in mind, that you cannot submit your article to more than one journal. Yes, which is really, really important. This is something unethical if you are submitting articles to two journals at a time. Okay, and why this happens, that because almost 100 not 100, sorry, 1 year is almost 1 year is 1 year is almost a embargo period to get it article published in the journal, and people don't want to wait for it. Like even initial rejection will definitely take place within 1 week, or maybe two months or something like that, 2-3 months. Okay, so again, depending on the availability of the peer reviewers, their time is important. So accordingly, that feedback will be given to the article, and if it is accepted, fine, or some revisions are required, fine. But rejection, like our time is really wasted. Like even my time was so much wasted for the in the initial also, okay, phases. So that is why this is what usually authors does, that they submit the same article to the another journal, but that is completely banned. As I told you, that it is unethical and illegal also to submit article in more than one journal at the same time. Okay, see, when we submit our article, we have to go on tick 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 tick, right? So what is that tick 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 we do? We click on I accept, I accept, I accept. What we click on I accept? I accept that article has not been published anywhere or not been considered by any journal at this particular moment. This is what we tick and we submit, right? So that means we are saying that this particular article has not been published anywhere or not been considered also peer review process by any journal. So again, here publishers can sue us, or it is the such type of authors will be blacklisted by the journals if they find that this particular author has submitted same article. Means if your article get accepted and published, and if later on they come to know that at the same time the same article was published by another journal, then your article will get retracted and you will be blacklisted. So this is what is done. Okay, so this should not happen. You should not do it. And as I tell you again and again that these all commercial publishers are very sharp. They have a very good intelligent systems. They will come to know somehow that this particular article has been published somewhere, or not editors, but in your own institution, in your own field, somebody will report that this person has published same article in 2 journals, something like that. So you cannot submit your article unless and until you get some rejection mail from one journal. You cannot submit to the another journal. But sometimes you can just wait for the sometimes, see, some Indian journals that I have found that they do not respond to the your emails, or they do not reply to your emails also. In this case, what you can do, that you have to wait for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. If they are sending you article this thing email, then fine. If they are not sending, then you can send it to the another journal. Okay, but but this is in case where the journals are not available online, or they don't have a online manuscript system submission. They just accept the article by email then and then. Otherwise, in the manual system, you can do it, or you will come to know immediately whether it has gone to peer review or not, means in which mode your article is. Okay, but in case of this no automation journals, it's very hectic, I find. Okay, so if you're budding author, then you do not go to the top tier journal in your discipline. Okay, you have to go for the normal journals which are in discipline. Like as I said, that Annals Journal, it's one of the topmost journal in our library science. So 4-5 years of my experience of writing articles helped me to write an article for this journal immediately, or in just first shot I didn't go for this particular journal, because I don't know, it is not my forte right now, okay, to publish article in this particular journal, because the way the language they have, or the type of research they have, and the subject area that they have is not matching to mine. So I cannot go for it. But definitely your other journals, which are average journals, will give you the confidence. They will boost your confidence of writing and publishing. Then you can go for definitely referred journals, because reviewer teaches you, right? I always feel that, like, your guide teaches you, like PhD guide, your teacher guides you, right? But that person, the peer reviewer, is also invisible guide for you. Okay, or he or she is mentor. Okay, he or she is the one who improves your article. So why not to listen to that person? Like, वो हीरे को तराशना होता है ना, so that work is done by that particular peer reviewer. Okay, so what are the rejections? Why articles get rejected? First, manuscript content does not conform to scope of the journal. Very simple reason. Okay, means what? Suppose that particular journal is saying that they are taking theoretical library science articles or practical working articles in library science, then you should write your article like that type of article only for the journal. You should not write an article about technology related library science article to that particular journal, because that is not their scope only. They will not accept such articles which are not in their scope only. Okay, so first you have to check the scope. As I said, that you have to spend a lot of time in reading the scope of the journal. Okay, you have to read and you have to understand that journal. Then the manuscript style does not conform with the journal style, format, or guidelines. As I said, if they are saying that APA format is used, you have to use APA. You cannot say that, "Arey, मैंने MLA में लिखा है, why I should change it to ALA?" Let them go through. Let them understand and then reply. No reply, there will be direct rejection. Okay, duplication or significant overlap with existing work. See, they never say plagiarized. Your article is plagiarized, right? They will always say that there is an overlap with existing work or a duplication of work, right? Or unattributed text, means you have not cited properly, you have not cited the articles, right? Then not good presentation, yes, tables, charts, your graphs are not good, or maybe the as per the structure is it is not written. Then insignificant results or incremental research, may not be something very important or contribute to the particular field, so likely to get rejected. Then improper rationale of the study, it has not been given properly in the study, that why this study had been done, what was the objective, purpose, aims. Then superficial treatment of subject matter, and it's like it's not the treatment is given, it's not given correctly to that particular subject. Poorly designed study, okay, in terms of statistical test, suppose it is not been calculated properly or not used the statistical analysis like SPSS, then may not be, like some journals they will take the articles where such a statistical test are applied, okay, averages and the percentage may not be considered by those journals, so there this can be the reason for the rejection. Then preliminary results that lend to speculative interpretation and lack of clarity in writing, so these are the reasons that are really hampering, or I can say that that is not good for the your article getting accepted, okay. So in not favor, I can say, so you should take care of these all points. Okay, tips for choosing the right journal, the potential or a target audience that you have to check. Then what is the time frame for completing your item for publishing? Like you have to think that, okay, let's say for example, in the month of June, like if it is a quarterly journal, what are the months when that particular journal is published? Like maybe September. Okay, so if you want your article for the September 2022, you should at least write article from the September 2021. Okay, so how much time you will take, again there will be a lot of time taken by the journals also, okay, in the peer review process, and then again they have some technical things to be taken care of, and then it will get published. Okay, so the time frame for completing your item for publishing is also important, that how much time you will give. Then journals that you need read or cite for your research and their relevance to your proposed publications. Okay, so there might be, say for example, 10-20 journals, good journals in your own discipline. Okay, you may be reading 5-6 journals which you like to read and you cite in your research. Okay, so you can say that, so say for example, one research study you have done and you have cited so many research articles from the same journal. That means the same journal will have the same scope as if yours, right? So maybe it is a relevant, that particular journal may be the relevant for your article to get submitted. Okay, so you can just think about it. You can consult your peer group also, you can ask your guide, you can ask your colleague, okay, that which journal do you like to read, or which journal do you think it is good, or where do you publish your articles. So you can have some suggestions from them also. Then author guidelines and peer review system, frequency of the journal, like as I said, if it is a quarterly or it is a monthly, then more issues will be published, so more article capacity acceptance, or they will take a lot of research article if it is a monthly. Okay, so depending on that, the frequency also, the rejection chances are more. Okay, say for example, if it is a quarterly and it is accepting only 5 articles per issue, like there are only 20 articles are going to get accepted by this particular journal, then rejection rates are more, because more articles are will be rejected because they have to choose only 20. But in case of monthly, 60 articles will get accepted, so 3 times more, so rejection rate will be reduced. Okay, so you can think about it, that what is the frequency, which agency indexes that particular journal, okay, what is the impact factor of that particular journal. But I think for the beginners, should not worry about indexing and impact factor. You just keep on writing and publishing in a good journal. Okay, good journal, I'm saying, not a very hi-fi or a very authentic and the best journal in your field. Then open access publishing options, right? Suppose open access in the sense authentic open access journal it should be. Okay, otherwise, as I said, that people journals take money and publish your articles, so that should not be the case, right? So all these commercial publishers now in the market, they have the open access model also. Okay, they have that OA mode to publish your article, where they ask minimum $5,000 for publication fees. Okay, but if the predatory journals, the blacklisted journals, if you see, they will ask you 2,000, 3,000. Okay, so imagine 5,000 is something different and 1,000 rupees is something different. $5,000 and 1,000 and 2,000, where the quality of the journal is also not good. It's not listed in various indexing systems also, and it will not have an impact factor also. So you have to keep it in mind whether the particular journal is open access journal, basically a open access journal, or commercial journal who have given open access mode for their articles or not. Okay, so that you can also think about it. Okay, publish quality over quantity. Write only few articles and publish. Okay, pick the right journal to publish. Yes, picking the right journal is important. There should be novelty in the paper. You should follow the guidelines also. Author guidelines, basically author guidelines. Okay, write now, edit later. Yes, every day we write and we get bored, and then we feel like exhausted, right? So you can give a time, you can take a gap, and then you can just edit your article. Okay, with a fresh mind. Okay, then something very important, that is responsibilities of a co-author, which is really important issue of now, plagiarism. Okay, there are so many author related malpractices are happening, like when someone submits the article, that say for example X and Y. Okay, X name is written first and Y name is written second while submitting the article. When the article gets accepted, that X person, that correspondent, says that please write Y person's name first and then X name, which is totally rejected or denied by the journal, saying that this is not our policy. When you submit your article, you have to think about the sequence of authors and then you have to submit. Okay, we cannot accept this last minute changes. Okay, again, because this is a malpractice. Like all efforts will be done by the X, and then the name will be given for the Y or something like that. There are many things that has been reported in the literature. Okay, so responsibility of co-authors has to be very well established before only submitting the article. Then strong title captures readers' attention. Okay, your title has to be very eye-catchy, or something which reveals the study, what exactly study. Then people will go and read your article. Otherwise, they will not read your article. Okay, so you should have a strong title capture, and you should do the marketing of your paper, and you can do the marketing of paper right from the beginning only. Okay, like as I said, that when I was studying when I was in a pandemic situation, when I wanted to do the research, I was publishing, like I was marketing it like anything, that please submit your inputs for this particular article. It will get, I'm likely to get my article to get published in this particular journal, so and so. So your inputs are valuable. Like you can do this marketing right from the beginning, that I am doing something very important research study, be part of it. Okay. So visibility, you have to give the visibility to your article, not only at the end or after get published, but in the beginning also. Okay. And once it gets published, like you have to tell to the whole world saying that this is my paper which is published in this journal, please go and read. Okay. So there are many ways you can do the publicity of that particular article. So maybe someone must have covered in their lecture. This is some examples that I have given, is that yes, you have not made any real attempt to acknowledge. Okay. So it is a matter of unattributed text, means I had written in the review of literature, I had cited the earlier research, but I had taken word by word. Okay, exactly. So, and I had written the citations, but it should not be. You have to make the changes with your writing also. Okay, means you have to write it in your own words. So my articles was rejected. Like another example, I can advise that your paper would not be successful in journal which is highly competitive. Okay, if you like, I can check a few other journals for you. Like, see, this is so nice, and I actually asked that person that please give me any other journal which is good for my this particular article, and that Gary had given me good journal name, and I wrote my article there. I modified as per peer review, and my article got accepted. See, I started my article with this particular journal, but end up with some other journal which was not that highly competitive. This was very highly competitive, very topmost journal in the library science field. So in the beginning only you cannot go for it. Means like what tip I gave you exactly happened with me. Okay, so that you should avoid it. Again, the reject and resubmit. See, there are so many. In the red, that person had given me so many recommendations. Compare studies are not, chosen method is not, a paper lacks a discussion and critical analysis, this and that and all. So I just love this particular recommendation given by that peer reviewer. I always thank to that peer reviewer who gave me a different angle to my study, which helped me not only in that paper, but also in every paper I write. In every paper I write, I read these red letters that yes, my article fulfills these things, means it's okay, it's a good article, otherwise it's not. Okay, so these mentors are really good people. These are all invisible, I always feel invisible God who is guiding us to write a good article so that it will get accepted and get published. And the acceptance. Okay, so you can turn your situation rejection to acceptance. Like it's a pleasure to accept your manuscript title. I will end up accepting your article. Means the experience you have to apply, okay, in your own later studies, and then it will get you will get the fruits definitely. Okay, so now I will just go through briefly about impact factor. Like we are running short of time. As impact factor, it shows the average number of times articles from a journal published in the past 2 years that have been cited in the JCR year, Journal Citation Report. Okay, so why the journal impact factor is important? You can just compare the journals in the same field. Okay, which has got a higher impact factor, means that is must be very good journal. It is supposed to be. Okay, so you can just compare. It can help you to decide which journals to publish in. It can help you to evaluate the relatively impact of a journal in the field. You can reflect the changing status of the journal, because impact factor does not remain same for every year. It changes because it depending on how many papers are published and how many citations that particular journal has received, right? So this is not the impact factor is the only one who can control or which is important, but altimetrics, there are various ways we can calculate the impact factor. Okay, even the Google Scholar metrics are there. There is site score metrics measures are there, and journal citation report, JCR. These are the ways we can have. These are the different tools which can help us to measure the impact factor, journal's impact. Altmetric is something very important, very recently been adopted. If the article is published, then it gets shared via various social media modes, right? It will get shared by Facebook or WhatsApp, or there will be tweets, there will be discussion, tweets, retweets, and all and all. Okay, that is something been calculated. Okay, again, there is a software used for this particular. If you go to the Nature journal, you'll able to see the altmetrics of this particular for every article that is published in the Nature. Okay, because they have implemented that software, so that for every article, if that article is getting shared via Twitter or shared via Facebook, it will get counted there automatically. Okay, so these are the ways you can just find out the impact factor. So this is one example. The Nature had an impact factor of 41.577 in 2017. So how it is calculated? Number of citations received in 2017 from all items published in 15-16. Means earlier 2 years. Okay, so you have to divide it with the number of articles that is published in the 2016 plus 15. Okay, so in 2 years, these are articles being published, articles and reviews. Okay, so 2016 880, 2015 902. Okay, and but how many number of citations received in 2017? Okay, so in 2017, number of citations received for 15-16 articles are 74090. Means these two had these many citations. Okay, these two were published in 15-16, and which got a citation 2017. Obviously, 1 year later, citation will be counted, right? So number of citations, okay, published in those previous in the current year divided by a number of items published in the previous 2 years, so equal to 41. Okay, when it is divided, it is called 41. So Nature has got the highest impact factor. They have got impact factor more than 40. And again, this is according to the JCR report. Okay, so 2017, they had this more than 40 impact factor. So it is one of the best, topmost journal. Okay, so how you can identify the journals? You can identify journals via Google Scholar metrics, journal finding tools, Ulrich periodicals directory. It is one of the topmost periodicals directory in the world, which lists all the periodicals that are published in various disciplines. Okay, you can find out journals via Scopus. You can find out journals via UGC care list, and also you can ask your friends, human aspects, you can say, to recommend a journal for you to write. Okay, so these are the things which can help you. So how Google Scholar will tell you? You have to just go to the Google Scholar metrics. In metrics, you will able to see. In metrics, you will able to see categories. Okay. In metrics, you will able to see the publications. These are the screenshots I had captured. So you will able to see in metrics top publication. Then you can click here on view all. When you will click on view all, you can just click under the categories. There will be the main disciplines, and when you will click on the main discipline, one of the disciplines like chemical and material sciences, when you click on chemical and material, you will able to see all the list of journals in that particular field and H5 index. So this index, this is not impact factor, but this is the H5 index of Google Scholar. Means Google Scholar will not have impact factor, but they will have a H index. Okay, like these all different tools have a different techniques and different names to be given. So So when you will click on one journal, that is chemical reviews, you will able to see how many citations they have received and what is the H5 index of that particular journal. Okay, so you can find out this. You can go to the UGC care list. UGC care list has this. If you click on UGC care list, there will be like group 1 and group 2 will be listed. So when you will click on group 1, in group 1, those journals which are available in print and not under Web of Science and Scopus are listed in this group 1. Okay, so you can just type the subjects and you'll able to see the list of journals. Like when I type law, all the journals, like 65 journals are listed. So group 1 and then group 2. So when in group 1, you can just type and you can find out, but in group 2, all the journals that are coming under the Web of Science as well as Scopus are listed here. Okay, see, you can see here Web of Science. So when you click on Web of Science, you'll able to see this particular window. Okay, when you click on this, you will able to see these subjects like this core collection current contents. So here is the current contents. The screenshot I have taken after this business collection is here. Okay, you have to just go on clicking. Like when I clicked on law, I found 465 journals which are covered under the Web of Science. When I clicked on this education, you can just click here, Web of Science coverage. And if you click, there's a category. You just click here, you just type it here, education, then all education related terms will appear and just you have to go on clicking. So these are the 4 terms appeared when I typed education. So you have to just choose and you have to see. So there are 890 journals under this education. You can use the journal finders also. Okay, like these commercial publishers has got a journal finder tools. Every journal has got Elsevier, Taylor and Francis, Sage. Okay, so you can just type, you just can click on a journal finder of that particular publisher. You can type the title of your article and abstract, and then you have to just submit. Even keywords you have to give and you have to submit. So just like this, I had written an article, library services. So I had written the title and the abstract and given the keywords. So it gave me 22 journals, okay, from the Elsevier Science. So when I clicked on one journal, that is Journal of Academic Librarianship, then it shows everything, like what is the impact factor of this, what is the acceptance rate, time for the first decision, like 2 months. Okay, time for publication 8 months, 8 weeks kabhi nahi hota hai. Okay, author processing charges is $2,550. Okay, embargo period yani 12 months, you cannot keep this particular published article anywhere. After 12 months, you can deposit in the institutional repository or something like that. So this is what information comes when you choose under the journal finder. Okay, now about questionable or predatory publishers. Again, author processing charges, APC, right? So APC in gold OA, if it is fine, if it is a born OA journal and they are asking APC, but again, born OA journal has to be good quality. They should have some editorial board. They should have a good website. You know, you can make a difference, means you can compare yourself only these predatory or blacklisted journals with these journals like Elsevier and all. Okay, they can't beat Elsevier Science. It is one of the top most commercial publisher in the world whose revenue is more than Google. Okay, even topmost universities in the world cannot afford to have all journals that are published by Elsevier Science. Okay, so obviously their journal website, their all look and feel and everything will be the best. But if you see the those journals like predatory journals, their journal makeup will website itself will be very not good. Okay, there will be spelling mistakes and all. Okay, like website will be of not professional quality. Okay, editorial board is very small or coming soon. Okay, only 2-3 people will be there in the editorial board, and sometimes even I have observed this editor, one editor is a editor of 4 or 5, 7 journals. How is it possible that one person will be the editor of 4-5 journals? So something very fishy. You can report it to the UGC care also. Okay, or will be written like coming soon, or कौन से भी international person का नाम is written and दूसरा कोई तो affiliation is written, like one person from Cambridge University उसका नाम लिखा होगा और उसका affiliation होगा Oxford University का, something like that. Okay, this also happens. Okay, so submission fee instead of publication fee. They ask you to submit the fee and then article submission is allowed. Okay, but in other journals like those who take authentic APC charges, they will take you money only after your article is accepted. Then and then they will say, now if you want your article in open access mode, pay this much of charges. Okay, so this is something fishy you have to observe. Errors in the title and abstract. Title itself of the article will be not good, or even the titles of the journal articles are also will not good, or there will be a lot of grammatical mistakes and errors. Information mismatch will be there. Single like एक जगह पे लिखा है एडिटर और उसका डेजिग्नेशन और एफिलिएशन कुछ अलग, और दूसरी जगह सेम एडिटर का नाम लिखा है और उसका एफिलिएशन कुछ अलग ही लिखा है. ओके, लाइक ऑथर गाइडलाइंस में एंड में एडिटर का नाम लिखा है और उसका एफिलिएशन गलत लिखा है, और अबाउट अस में एडिटर का नाम बराबर है और उसका एफिलिएशन कुछ अलग ही लिखा है. दोनों जगह मिसमैच हो रहा है. ओके, सो ये होगा. और सिंगल पब्लिशर विल हैव अ लॉट ऑफ जर्नल्स. ओके, एक ही पब्लिशर 20-30-50 journals they are publishing. So again that is not good. Like this Taylor and Francis, Sage and other Routledge and all, they are all established. They took a lot of years to build this empire, I can say. But now just coming after in just 2 years, starting with the so many journals, it is really it's not possible only. Okay, so fail to meet such standards. They are not in the DOAJ list scope of Scopus and Weber. They falsely write, okay, that they are having this much of impact factor, they are included in Scopus and they are included, but it's not true. Okay, and they take the name of the journal which is easily mistaken, like Journal of Documentation. Okay, or जर्नल ऑफ एकेडमिक लाइब्रेरियनशिप, और लिखा क्या होगा वो जर्नल पे, जर्नल ऑफ एकेडमिक लाइब्रेरियन. ओके, ऑथेंटिक आर्टिकल जर्नल का नाम क्या है, जर्नल ऑफ एकेडमिक लाइब्रेरियनशिप, एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर जर्नल, फेक जर्नल इज हैविंग व्हाट नेम, जर्नल ऑफ एकेडमिक लाइब्रेरियन. Okay, and you feel, oh, it's academic wo wala Elsevier Science wala, and then you will start writing and writing to them that submitting the article, and then one fine day immediately they will say that you pay this much of article submission fee. So that means it's a fake one. And they include multiple disciplines also, which is very, very interesting, like International Journal on Recent Trends in Life Sciences and Mathematics. Life Sciences kidhar or Mathematics kidhar, means they are taking articles from Life Sciences, which is a vast subject, and even Mathematics also. So something very fishy. And they will ask, you will never receive any email from Elsevier Science or Routledge or a Taylor and Francis saying that you submit your article for this particular journal. Okay, but These all fake journals will write you every day. Like I receive minimum 10 to 15 emails from journals saying that you submit your article to our journal. So they never do. Those established journals, they will never ask you to write, because they will be receiving plenty of articles every day they receive. Okay, so when in doubt about the authenticity of the journal or a conference, talk to librarian. Yes, librarian is going to help you with the whether it is a right journal or wrong journal. Okay, so directory में होना चाहिए in DOAG. It should be in the Ulrich list of periodicals directory. That journal's name should be here, so you can see it's authentic journal. Then publisher, if it is a not a member of Open Access Scholarly Publishers Association, then something fishy, because वो बोल रहे हैं कि Open Access Journal है, but they are not member of this OASPA. That means it's something fishy. Okay, then you can just check the bills list weebly.com or predatoryjournals.com if you have a doubt about any journal. There is a website called think, check and submit.org. You can check the guidelines which are given on this website, and then accordingly you can decide which journal is good or bad. So these are the guidelines are given. You can go and read. I have kept it here. So you can just build your profile. Like I will show you. This is my latest profile with us 305 citations. And this was my profile 10 years back, 56 citations. So you can make a lot of difference if you write a good articles. If you make it visible correctly, you'll receive a lot of citations. Okay, so you can see your average. My at least 11 journals has got 11 citations. Okay, so my H index is 11. So my sincere thanks to SM Shetty College of Science, Commerce and Management Studies for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences via this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, it was our pleasure to have you in this webinar. And you can see so many compliments, and I request Adya to take up the questions now. Yes, Adya.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I think it was a very exhaustive session, and most of the questions that were asked during the session have been cleared. Like, just a second. One question was with respect to the authenticity, which you just spoke about, ma'am. And moreover, ma'am, we have a lot of appreciation for you in the chat box, where our participants are conveying their regards to you by saying it was a very nicely explained session. You have used very simple words and you've explained them the difficult terms and everything. I think, ma'am, questions are covered. Can we go ahead with vote of thanks?
There is one question, I think. UGC Careless Group 1 and 2 Scopus Web of Science Journals for Sociology, Social Sciences. Fast. And there is the article names, list and links, madam. Someone wants to know more about journals from sociology and social sciences. So librarian Smita madam can help that participant. What exactly that Subhash has asked?
The question is not very much clear, ma'am. I think we
yes.
allow the participant to speak.
How to select paper-related journal?
Yeah, maybe
One is asked. Dinakaran has asked.
Yeah, the group 1 and 2, something related to that.
And there is one Dinakaran has asked how to select a paper-related journal. Paper-related journal. Means depending on your scope of your paper. Suppose your paper is written, your topic is about technology in, that is used in library science. Okay, so we have one journal in our library science, many journals, but Indian journals, if I'm talking about DesiDoc Open Access Journal, where we can submit our article related to that. So you have to see, read the journal guidelines, and then you can think about whether this is particular journal suitable for your particular article or not. And again, I told you that you have to read articles from that particular journal, whether these articles are the way you have written is correct or not. Okay, because these are the one who will guide you, that invisibly they guide us, that the article, how the articles are accepted by that journal, how they are written, and what you have written exactly.
Ma'am, Subhas sir has been given the option to unmute. I think he can ask the question now.
Okay, and there is one more query, that how to check authenticity of open access journal, madam. As I said, you can just check that journal's name in the Web of Science. You can check it in the Web of Science, as well as you can check it in the DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journals. If that journal is there, then definitely you can say that it's an open access journal, good journal. Okay, because they don't have a predatory journals in their list.
Subhas sir, you can unmute. You can ask your query if you wanted to clear.
I think, ma'am, you have answered a query. Did you, ma'am? We have taken up all the queries.
Yes.
Yeah. Then let's, Adya, you can give it.
Yes, ma'am. So very good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of the Bansangha's SM Shakti College of Science, Commerce and Management Studies, I, Adya Bharti, Assistant Professor, deem it a great honor and privilege to stand before you to deliver the vote of thanks. Thank you, ma'am, for such an enriching and resourceful session. I'm sure all the participants have been deeply benefited with this session. Thank you, dear participants, for joining us for this workshop and making the session so lively with your queries and feedback. Thank you all. John sir, over to you.
Ma'am, thank you so much, first of all, from the college side, and for accepting the invitation, first of all, because we badly needed a person like you to guide the participants. So it was Smita's search, and truly it has, really everybody has written the way they have written about you. Amazing. We are looking forward to have more sessions, and in, as you said, in a splitted manner in the coming year. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. There is one question by Dinakaran, that my broad field is scientometrics. There I use science terms, so I submit my article science journal or not. As I said, that there are journal finder tools. I have shown you every commercial publisher has got a journal finder tools. Even the Web of Science has got a journal finder tools. You can use that finder tools to get the good journals. Like as I had showed you one article of mine, and I got a 22 journals. So you can again among those 22, you can think about which is top tier journal. Okay, don't go for it. Go middle one. Start if you are starting, then go to the very lower one. Then you will have some confidence to write.
That was very nice. Towards the end also, you have taken up questions. Yes.
Thank you, Sarika ma'am, for accepting our invitation. It was really wonderful and very exhaustive.
Thank you. I hope it was useful to everyone, and all the best wishes for your ICSR sponsored. You took a lot of efforts. Smita madam was in continuously. She was in my touch. Even the Liji madam was in touch. So good. It was also nice for me also to get so many questions, so that it helps me to give a best lecture in the next time.
Thank you, ma'am.
We will keep in touch with you, ma'am.
Okay. Bye.
Dear participants, I want to convey a message to you that we have a valedictory function. We will be sharing the attendance link and the feedback link only after that. Till then, we will not be sharing it. Please understand, today is the last day. Tomorrow you need not have to come, isn't it? So you can have patience, and we will be having a valedictory session now. Principal sir has already joined. Sir, with your permission, shall we proceed?
Yes. Yes.
John,
Yes, ma'am, I'm ready. Ma'am, just a minute. We are starting the recording.
1 second.